Welcome to today's edition of Mental Health Matters. Today, we're going to be talking about the shutdown of the SNAP benefits. I have Diana Garcia on the show. We're going to talk about how the government shutdown is affecting those who really need the SNAP benefits. Get you something to drink, get you a snack, and come on back. I like when you do that, Diana. I love it. You like, yeah, look, you already know my little spiel already, huh?
Come on back,
Yeah,
Jesse.
exactly. So let's just start with you introducing yourself. We're gonna jump right in it now since it's
Okay.
kind of short show.
Okay. Diana Garcia. I work for a nonprofit. I am the supervisor of the housing coordinating team in Placer and Nevada counties.
Okay, nice, 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 nice. Oh, Dana, so how was your weekend overall? Was good?
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
My favorite cousin's here, more like my sister.
Oh,
We've
in
been spending
town?
time. Yeah, she's spending the weekend with me.
Oh,
So
what
she's
where's she
listening to me, and
from?
she's from East Bay. She gets mad when I say that.
Oh, okay, what's nice. She said you get to spend time with her and stuff.
Yeah, we've been spending time together one on one, which has been a while since we've done that, but we've had some fun times. So
Okay.
I told her I was doing this podcast this morning. I said, so you can hear the kind of talk that I talk with Jesse.
Okay, nice, 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 nice. All right. So let's dive into it. So we're going to be talking about SNAP benefits and how it's affecting Americans. So I'm going to read this little blog I got off the internet. Said the Trump administration says it will use 4.5 billion in contingency fund for SNAP payments this month. That comes after they stopped 4 millions of people over the weekend. The first time the country's largest anti-hunger program has been suspended since it began 6 decades ago, and after two federal judges ruled that freezing benefits for the country's biggest anti-hunger program is unlawful.
Yes. Yes, it is. And the thing is that's very disappointing. And they keep talking over and over again that they don't have the money for it because it's a shutdown. But
Yeah,
there is a slush fund specifically for the program, so
yeah,
people will not go without their benefits because they predicted that something like this might happen if there's a
yeah,
government shutdown.
yeah,
And so, I mean, there are monies to do this. And as the president of the United States, he could be doing anything that he wants to at this time. I mean, he's
yeah,
able to build this ballroom,
yeah,
and I hear over and over again, well, it's done by donations. Well,
yeah,
we've seen the track record of this administration. There
yes,
is no record. They
yeah,
are doing things how they're doing them, and I don't believe anything that they're saying as far as that
yeah,
that big ballroom being built. But
yeah,
the thing is that, and then I hear a lot of pushback from a lot of friends and family as far as the EBT benefits, and they're like, well, some of those people need to go to work, and
yeah, yeah,
immigrants are getting all these benefits, and it's like I was an eligibility specialist.
yeah,
It, if you don't have the documentation, you don't get any food stamps or
yes,
EBT. Um,
yes,
and then they're all, well, but they come here, have kids, and then they get benefits. It's like, well, yeah, because they're American citizens.
right, exactly,
It's like,
exactly. Mm-hmm.
what
Yeah,
you'd rather see starving children and the starving elderly
yeah,
because of this government shutdown that, even though it's happening, they should not be losing their benefits at all.
yeah.
So
I It's bad. I can only imagine how do you think this would impact their mental health? Because some folks really depend on that. Some people low income. This is all that they may have in order to feed their families from month to month. How do you think that's affecting their mental health?
Oh, their mental health, they're stressed. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm getting phone calls about this now and getting emails and voice messages. What am I going to do? What's going to
yeah,
happen?
yeah,
I guess I'm not going to be able to pay my rent. I
yeah,
won't be able to pay for my copay for whatever medical costs that they have,
yeah,
especially
yeah.
like the over the counter stuff, because that does not get paid by any of the benefits.
Right.
Uh, if you're not working, you can have special programs to pay for that. But if you're low income and you're on Medi-Cal, that's not going to help you at all.
Yeah,
So they have to pick.
yeah,
You got to
yeah.
pick, and then you have to look at the churches, the nonprofits of the churches,
Yes.
which I'm hoping that a lot of them will step up,
Yeah.
even though there's going to be some benefits for the month of November. It's
Right.
still it's still tough because these people are the people who are missing out on these benefits are really stressed out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, and it causes other things. They may have issues anyway. It just makes it worse.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a friend who stays, well, I ain't gonna tell you location, but I have a friend who has three of her grandkids, and she said she was getting like I think I want to say 700 some dollars a month, including with her. She only got $100 according to her this month.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, they said
And
once you stop them and then try to get the other monies in there,
yeah.
they said the government saying it could take a couple months, which
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Because it's to me it's just a lie. Uh,
Yeah.
and right now no one's watching the purses or having anybody accountable.
Yeah.
So we don't know what the real story is, but we know that these people aren't getting their full benefits.
Right.
And
Exactly.
and if they're coming in a piece at a time, especially if you have a big family,
Yeah.
trying to feed somebody and you're the grandmother of these grandkids that you are taking care of, and that's
Yeah.
your supplement for food.
Yeah.
That's really tough.
Yeah.
And because a
Yeah.
lot of times if you have a big family like that, especially because there's a lot of grandparents taking care of their grandkids
Yeah.
at school, that kind of supplements, like maybe breakfast and lunch.
Yeah. Yeah.
But dinner,
Hmm.
and if you have, like in your friend's case, 7 kids,
Yeah.
that's a lot in to keep them fed. And then see, and then what happens is, when you go to the full food banks, a
Yeah.
lot of times what they have is carbs. They have
Yes.
all of the breads, the
Yeah.
pasta, and all that stuff. So what does
Yeah.
that do to the kids and even to the grandmother? You get heavier.
Right. Exactly.
And
Exactly.
it's about nutrition, and
Exactly.
you have to take what you have,
Yeah.
and because you don't want to be hungry, but still that's going
Yeah.
to affect your health down the road.
That is 100% true because her grandson, I think it's like, I want to say 16, and he plays football. And according to her, he's in very good shape and he likes to eat healthy, a lot of protein and stuff like that. And she actually brought that up to my attention. She was like, man, this is really going to affect all of us moving forward, but it's going to kind of take him off course a little bit, you
Mhm.
know. So she said she was trying to make the money stretch with Thanksgiving coming and things like that. So she told him like, this month's gonna be a little bit hectic, it's gonna be a little bit challenging, a little bit different. So I may not be able to get you like your tuna and the chicken stuff that like the protein to
All
kind
the
of keep.
protein, yeah,
Yeah,
because protein's expensive.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
you have all of the meats, and
hmm,
and beef
yeah,
is outrageous right now.
yeah,
So and chicken's about the cheapest thing that you can get right now if it's on sale. But
yeah,
you have to really, if you're stretching $100 for the month instead of
yeah,
700,
yeah,
you
yeah,
have to make that stretch.
yeah,
And I know a couple of clients had talked about, what should I do to stretch it?
yeah,
I got this little amount. It's like, try to get as much protein as you can and some frozen vegetables.
yeah,
And a lot
yeah,
of places that I suggest to the clients that have called are like grocery outlet,
Yeah.
because grocery outlet, you have to watch the dates and stuff, but they do have a lot of reduced prices
Yeah.
on meats and pastas and that kind of stuff. So uh,
Yeah.
just to kind of stretch the budget, and potatoes, of course,
Yeah.
potatoes and rice, just to make sure that they're not hungry. But they do have like like the brown rice
Yeah.
or protein rice too,
Yeah.
and or cauliflower. Like a lot of
Yeah.
times at grocery outlet, they have the bags of the cauliflower, and it
Yeah.
looks like rice, but at
Yeah.
least it's a vegetable.
Yeah. Yeah, this has really affected her mental health. And we've been talking a lot since, this stuff has happened. And one of the things that she's starting to do is have a lot of, well, obviously fear and stress and anxiety. But as I listen to her talk with me, she started to have a lot of regret. Like, oh, why, I wish I would have went to college, and wish she got health challenges as well. And, I wish I wouldn't have did certain things that contributed to my health growing up. It's a lot of regret now because she had been dependent on government assistance for so long. And she's also worried now because she's staying in low income housing section 8. She got a voucher.
Oh,
And
and
so,
as we know, those
yeah,
those things could just be
yeah,
canceled in a minute.
yeah, yeah. And
Uh,
she's worried about that.
yeah, and that's a valid worry. And
Yeah,
when you're talking about the mental health, you're worried about the food. Um,
yeah,
you're worried about your food. You're worried about your housing. You're worried about your medications. And then,
yeah,
especially if you have that many kids, how to
yeah,
take care of them and have a healthy
yeah,
environment for them. And if
yeah,
you're feeling that, and of course the kids pick up on that too,
yeah,
and then they start, kind of stressing and, oh my
yeah,
gosh, what are we going to do? And
yeah.
another thing that could cause with, as far
Good.
as the you're okay, as far as the food is, maybe they'll like, well, maybe I should just eat a little bit and not everything that I need to be eating, which is
Yeah.
so important right now because they're growing. they
Right,
need they
right.
need those nutritions, but if they feel like there's not enough, and that's hard to keep from kids, especially if there's not enough to eat.
Right,
uh,
right.
and if and your friend, if they're feeling that anxiety, then it brings it to them too with their
Yeah.
anxiety. It's like, maybe I shouldn't have, we should stretch this food a little bit longer.
Yeah. One of the things that she's doing is, and this is so unfortunate, her grandson is a straight A student, and so she know people that need some help. They want to hire him to do like a few odd jobs. But the problem with that is the hours is during his school time. And
Oh no.
so, yeah. And so she had told me, she said, Jesse, I have to make that sacrifice. I have to. Um, he just gonna have to miss some days of school so that they can try to supplement that income, uh, in place of those food stamps. And she feels really bad about it because she feels like, oh, now I'm kind of putting responsibility on him because he's younger. It's just pretty much like cutting grass and cleaning up and stuff like that. But one of her friends reached out to her. Well, one of her friends reached out to her friend and was asking if she knew anybody that could help with, some odd jobs. And so that's when they reached out to my friend, and she said, yeah, I'm on my grandson, let me talk to him. And she feels really bad that she got to pull her grandchild out of school to do that.
The thing is that she's not going to stop what's happened to her.
Right,
What she's doing to her grandson, she's going to let it continue to the next generation.
right,
I know
right.
things are tough, but to take the education out of a young adult,
Yeah,
and not only that, to take that, um, have them take on that responsibility of the family.
yes,
I
yes,
mean, I know that personally from my own experience. You take that responsibility of them being a child, getting their education, doing the things that they want to do, and
yeah,
it changes the way you want to do things going forward,
mm-hmm,
and and then try not to be bitter about it too, because it could go from one extreme to the other, and then
yes,
it can create another problem. Uh,
yes,
so the straight A student might be gone from that. And it's
yeah,
like, okay, it doesn't matter anyway. Why am
Yeah.
I trying to, kill myself
Yeah.
working and being a straight A student, it's like you let those things slip. And
Yeah.
when you miss school, it's gonna slip. It's really hard to keep all that on track.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's I mean, even me, I have family members and stuff too, but that obviously been affected. But I think this situation hits the worst because she has health challenges and she generally cannot work. She generally cannot do anything. And and she has been taking care of grandkids for a while, and I think that this is her way of trying to rob Peter to pay Paul, so to speak. In a
Mm-hmm.
sense, I gotta get him to do this so that we can like, and it is gonna affect him. And she's actually supposed to let the guy know tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
because the schools is closed. I think she said they're closed for Veteran Day. So I think she said Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So at least 2 days, because I think they close on Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And
Oh,
and I
yeah, because
don't.
you start that track too of him working, and especially if he's a mindful young man and like, oh, you're really good. Let's,
Yeah,
can you do more days?
right, exactly,
And
exactly.
that's a lot of pressure to put on her grandson.
Yeah,
I think. I
yeah,
know the grandmother's trying to do the right thing,
yeah,
but it's going to affect so many things in him.
yeah,
Uh, especially the schooling part of it. That's something you can't get back.
right, exactly,
And not
exactly.
only the schooling part of it as far as academically, but even socially.
Yeah,
Uh, I mean, as we know socially, how the pandemic affected so many young people, and just having that interperson communication
yeah,
and the anxiety that might bring up in trying to have a conversation, a real conversation with people in real
yeah,
time, rather than
yeah,
just texting and
yeah,
memes and stuff like that.
yeah,
Because there's a lot of factors in what's happening right now and the stresses on the family.
yeah, yeah. I think it's just interesting that it happens the month of November for Thanksgiving. And you Thanksgiving is all about food celebration outside of being thankful. And I think because of that, not saying that it would be any less stress if it was like March or April. But the fact this is a holiday season and folks normally get together and cook and eat to express their gratitude and their love for each other as, family and friends, and not to be able to fully have the benefits to be able to celebrate this holiday. It is a lot of stress, and it's a lot of stress on a lot of different people. I've talked to people in my family that depend on government assistance, and they all talking the same language. What am I gonna do for Thanksgiving? And oh, I was planning on doing it. I was planning on cooking this, and you just gotta improvise and stuff.
Right, right,
Um,
and substitute.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
there, some things are going to be as we all know, um, it's like what was it, 20% more? The food for an average Thanksgiving dinner is going to be up 20%.
yes,
That and
absolutely.
and the list that the administration put out said it was
Yeah,
cheaper, but they took off like 15 things.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
okay, so are you taking 15 things off your Thanksgiving dinner?
Right, right.
It's like this administration, I think, is so blind as
Yeah,
to the working people and the people struggling low income as to
yeah.
what's happening. Because I mean, to them, it's just a blanket. Oh, so they're losing their EBT. They should just go get a job and do something.
Right. Right.
And they don't realize. I don't think they realize. It seems like they don't realize that it's affecting the elderly and the kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're talking about wasteful and fraud and all that, but it's going to be like that in anything that's happening with the government. There's always going to
Yeah.
be a little bit of fraud, but not all of it is fraud.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. I'm a
You're
little
okay.
tired here.
That's
So yesterday I went grocery shop. I went to the grocery store and this lady had a cart full of food items and she literally walked out the store.
Wow. Didn't pay
Yes,
for it.
I saw that with my own eyes. But she did it very strategically, though. She didn't just, it wasn't obvious. But she had ended up just filling her card up, and she went the long way around. And so in this particular grocery store, they have like I don't want to sell food court, but they sell like pizzas and pretzels and stuff like that. Well, she parked the car right there for about like a couple of minutes as people was coming out, and she just walked on out with me and my brother. Literally just walked on out. She didn't have not one bag. Everybody else had their stuff in bags, and she just walked on out with a buggy full of stuff, car full of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. And you know what? They're talking about that's going to happen even more. And
yeah,
as things get harder for people.
yeah,
But that I understand if you're hungry,
yeah,
but I just that's you're a thief.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
I don't think that's the answer. I know
yeah.
it's and then that what that does is it just brings more division with the people who have and have not. It's like,
Right,
see, look what they're doing.
right,
They're
right.
stealing now, and it's like,
Yeah,
well, when you got kids to feed, sometimes you have to make that choice. I don't agree with the stealing part of it, but
yeah,
but some people have to do what they have to do. And then
yeah.
you look at the people who are on the shutdown right now, not getting paid. I
Yes,
mean, and that and
yes,
that and that's a big thing. I mean, I'm having people who are laid off right now or having to work with no paycheck and trying to get assistance with their rent.
yeah,
And so and which goes down to their food
yeah,
and all these food banks that are getting all these different people that have never been before because
yeah,
they're not getting a paycheck. I know these
yeah,
people will probably hopefully get paid once it gets started up again, but
yeah,
during this time, what do? You can only tell
yeah,
your landlord so much. It's like,
yeah,
well,
yeah,
this is the shutdown that's happening. I
yeah,
mean, and then it affects all that, and that's so stressful.
yeah. How
Stress.
do how do you think this is going to affect the crime rate, Diana, with
It's
this
it's
cut,
going to go
especially the
up.
SNAP?
It's
Okay.
going to go up
Yeah.
because, especially in the grocery stores.
Yeah.
I mean, even before this has happened, I know when I've been like at a pharmacy to get something, people would
Yeah.
even with the alarms going off and them taking whatever they're taking, they'd put
Yeah.
it in the basket and they just run off, even if they have security, because
Yeah.
they don't want security to retain or capture somebody because
Yeah.
of the danger.
Yeah.
So the crime rate's only going to go up.
Yeah. I think
Even though
so
it's
too.
down right now, they want
Yeah.
us. It's almost like they're creating this perfect storm for them to say,
Right. Right.
see
Exactly.
what's going to happen. See what
Exactly.
happens with people who are on food stamps.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've created the chaos.
Yeah. And not realizing that like people really, really, really are dependent on these benefits every month faithfully.
And then if you see somebody who gets caught or the police are involved in whatever, what has that
Yeah,
done to that person? Now
yeah,
they have a record.
yeah,
Then it affects them down the road as far as trying to get a job or
yeah,
trying to find a place to live.
yes,
If you're
yes,
incarcerated, when they do a background check. I mean, it's just all
yeah,
these things that keep happening because of food not being
right,
available.
right, yeah, yeah, yeah. And people are of the mindset that I got to do what I got to do to feed my family. And even if that is taking a risk with getting a criminal background or breaking a law, like the lady in the grocery store, like people will do it. And it's a tough place to be in. It's a tough place to be in for sure.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
I hope that they continue to use the so-called slush fund. I'm just glad that they're pushing back with the court rulings,
Oh
saying that
yes.
this has to happen. So that's a
Yes.
that's a huge thing to try to get this moving and to continue for the people who need it right now,
Yeah.
because it's stressful, it's depressing,
Yeah.
and then the stigma of even having being on EBT.
Yeah.
I mean, just even Friday when I was doing an intake with with a potential client or a client, he was just like, please don't let
Right.
anybody know that I'm homeless and that, I need help with food. It's like, I'm not going to tell. Just the stigma of even that is
Yeah.
is is stressful. And
Yeah.
even when they're trying to work to get
Yeah.
to get out of that, seems like when you pull them down and just make it harder,
Yeah.
it brings all this stress to a person. And then sometimes they just get knocked down so many times it's hard for them to get back up again.
Yeah. Do you think that there are people who were receiving government assistance that didn't necessarily need to receive them? And
Absolutely.
okay.
Absolutely, there's some people. There's always somebody.
Okay.
Uh, and because it's not a perfect system.
Right.
How do you create a perfect system?
Right. Right.
Because if somebody's getting paid under the table, there's no
Right.
there's no record of that.
Right. That's
And that
true.
happens a lot.
Yeah.
Because especially when people are looking for, right, because I see it with rental assistance or moving into a place to rent.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so what's your income? Where's your income come from? And if it's under
Yeah.
the table, then it shows that they have these other benefits, but based on their income, they probably wouldn't qualify. But
Yeah.
but there's no tracking of it. So
Yeah.
I know people do what they want to do as far as that's concerned, but there is fraud. There is
Yeah.
fraud.
Yeah. I know at one point Dana, they was um asking how do I put this? In order to get like the SNAP EBT benefits, you had to have be looking for a job. You had to show record that you was looking for a job, these many places and stuff like that. I wonder, is it still like that?
It is still like that.
Okay.
Just a little less than 2 years ago, I was an eligibility specialist, and those are some of the things that they look at. Uh,
Okay.
especially if you're able to work. If
Okay.
you're disabled, no. You
Okay.
know, if you're permanently disabled, no. But if
Okay.
something's happened where you can't work, and then
Uh-huh.
they'll check again, just
Yeah.
especially if it's a temporary disability. But
Yeah.
um, but if it's permanent disability, they're starting to check more, which
Okay.
is kind of hard for people, excuse me, that are on permanent disability and to get checked to make
Yeah.
sure they're not working every 6 months, because I think that's what this administration is going to do.
Yeah.
And a lot of people who don't check their mail,
Right.
which there is a lot of people that, and they see something, they don't look at it and know that they have to respond, and then they're cut off again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like you have to follow up with that paperwork. But I think that's what they want, is for people to fail, so then they have to start over again, so to speak.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of fraud. I understand there's well, I wouldn't say a lot of fraud, but I think there's more fraud in the government than there is in the food stamp or
Yeah.
EBT system. Um,
Yeah.
and a lot of that's just blatantly done in front of us
Yeah.
during this time. But it's easier to judge the bottom 1% than it is the upper 1%.
Yeah. What can we as a community do to help those who are losing their benefits, meaning those that, hasn't really been affected by that? Like what can a community members do to kind of help those that's in need, that's, losing their SNAP?
So what I've been doing is, and having the HCs do, is make sure that they have lists of all of the entities that are the food pantries.
Yes.
And all, like right now, especially during this season, there's a lot of wish list communities that are
Yeah.
assisting people with not only food but also maybe a special treat during the holidays.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of the interface and all the face are stepping up to try to do that with their
Yeah.
communities. But I know a lot of the people who are faithful that donate are having problems too.
Yeah.
So, especially with the nonprofit churches, as they all are, but trying to get that community to step up too.
Yeah.
And then I've been involved in some of the councils, and especially with the interfaith. They say
Yeah.
that they're the people who actually come to a lot of their congregation. It's actually slipping down, so it makes it hard for them to make some kind of, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're projecting to do,
Yeah.
because of everything that's happening. The donations, and not only food but monetary, is going way down, especially with people that aren't involved directly with the church as they were in the
Hmm.
past.
Yeah. Yeah. Because some of that, you got a lot of church folks who's been affected by this too.
Exactly.
And they're not, they're like, well, we got a household to take care of.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you want to help, but you can't cut off your nose to spite your face. You know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
everybody's suffering in some way right now, whether
Yeah.
it's them personally or family members, and trying to assist that way. But the pantries are a big thing, and the
Yeah.
food closets in different counties have different things, and then you have places that are actually doing meals and stuff, and making sure that
Yes.
they know that,
Yeah.
because some have weekly or daily meals, and
Yeah.
maybe that can supplement the food, as it's the food insecurities as they are right now.
Yeah. I know I've donated some things to a few churches and just try to do my little part. It
Yeah,
ain't
I
much,
mean,
but
everybody tries to do a little bit as they
yeah.
can, and
Yeah.
it's hard,
Yeah.
uh, but we could try to be all in this together. I do the same thing, the little bit that I can do,
Yeah.
but it's tough out there right now,
Yes, it is. Yes, it
and as a
is.
nonprofit community, we're going to be hit even more, as you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Dan, and guess what? We run out of time. I told you it goes so quick. Doesn't it go quick? It
It always
always go
does.
quick. Um, well, thank you so much once again for showing up and having a discussion with me. We always have good discussions. I think we could talk about anything and everything. We don't need no questions. We just
Yeah, absolutely,
very
absolutely. It's like,
organic.
what's going on today? Oh, did you hear about this?
I know, right? Right. We could definitely talk about it for sure. But thank you so much for just taking the time coming on the show. And I'm gonna close us out. That's it for this edition of Mental Health Matters. If you like this particular show, if you would like to be a guest on our show, or if you would like a DVD copy of this show, please dial 916-366-4600. Thank you.